South Africans wrong, we are ready to do anything. Yes. Even at the detriment of others, we don't care.
The beef between South Africans and Nigerians right now is getting out of hand.
I did not steal anyone's identity.
She's not been to Nigeria in 20 years. That's if she has ever been to Nigeria. Does she know what Taraba State is? She doesn't even know the state she's representing.
There was even a point that I felt like I'm not South African. Person somewhere there is enjoying all that should be rightfully mine.
So it's been about a month since we were first introduced to the chidimma situation, Nigerians versus South Africans, in which her identity was questioned and also was bullied out of contesting for Miss South Africa. And a lot of people came to her defense, one of which was Tyler, the singer from South Africa, that stated that she was actually bullied and this should not have happened to her. And she was later also bullied into apologizing for making the statement to begin with. Burna Boy laughed it off and had this to say. So after all that, with a picture of the girl that actually ended up winning Miss South Africa. And he's laughing because South Africans at the time said they didn't want Chidimma because her name was not South African. She did not represent South African culture and she is not South African and doesn't celebrate South Africa in the way that she should have.
Let's take this chidimma situation and try to break it down in our brains as much as we can. The problem with chidimma is that she didn't represent South Africans in any way. From her name to the way that she looks, down to the culture that she has publicly celebrated. I personally didn't care what Home Affairs said about her citizenship. All I cared about was the fact that nothing about her represented South Africans. When you tell us that we would rather celebrate a Mariki Viljoen over our black sister, then we have the right to tell you that what you're talking about is a racial issue and it has nothing to do with being Miss South Africa. Playing the brother and sister card in the situation doesn't work because a Mariki Viljoen is more of my sister when we talk about being a South African as opposed to a black girl that comes from Nigeria or Ghana. In South African context, Mariki is my sister because I recognize her name, I recognize her language, and I recognize her culture. A Michaela McKenzie is more of my sister when we talk about being a South African as opposed to a chidimma. If your problem is race and colonization, then there's other platforms where you can discuss those things, not this one. If the situation is racial, then yes, I can say chidimma is more of my sister than a Mariki, but this is not the case. So stop trying to guilt trip us and using big words to make us feel guilty or make us feel bad for not wanting to accept a person that doesn't represent us in any way.
Now, her nationality is a major thing that is under question, but you cannot deny that her name and her being half Nigerian is the main reason why this whole thing started. Her father is from Nigeria and her mother is originally from Mozambique. And to be a citizen in South Africa, you have to have at least one of your parents to be a permanent resident in South Africa. So that is exactly what is under question, whether or not her mother was a permanent resident in South Africa at the time of her birth, because she was actually born in South Africa, and that is also another requirement. So the screening actually started when she was seen celebrating with her Nigerian family after she had won and made it to the top 16 of the Miss USA contestants. And shortly after, a petition was begun opposing her participation in the Miss South Africa competition. Shortly after, Nigeria invited her to compete in their beauty pageant, which she won. And from here, the comparisons began, stating that Chidimma's crown was so cheap, it could be found on Temu for only 76 rands. This crown is actually sold out on Temu, which I'm assuming a lot of South Africans have bought because they have mentioned that they want to wear it to groove, which to me means maybe to drink and just have fun, basically be outside. Another thing that was compared is how much the winners were offered in each country. Chidimma was given 112,000 rands. I've already converted it from Nigerian currency, which is Naira, to rands. While the person that won Miss South Africa was given 1,000,000 rands. Also an apartment and a car and a lot of other things that I haven't found. But there's more, obviously, compared to what she got, what Chidimma got in Nigeria.
The same crown. The same crown we can be found at Temu for 76 Rand. What is this? They didn't even go for the package of 204 or 406. No, they went for the cheap one.
Clearly, South Africans have made a good mockery of this situation, but I also went on to look up who owns these beauty pageants in both countries, Nigeria and South Africa, to understand best why one country can afford to give so much and the other not so much. Stephanie Will is the sole owner and director of the Will Entertainment that owns Miss South Africa. Not surprising that it's a woman that looks like this that you're choosing to use her wealth to flaunt and also make a mockery of people that look exactly like you. And also looks nothing like the owner of Miss Nigeria, according to Google, who is a black woman. So if Google is actually correct about the roles that each one of these women play in this situation, you can already tell that one of them had a hairstyle that most of us could not afford, given our history. So to make a mockery of another trying black woman's efforts while shielding yourself with your master's wealth is crazy work to me.
Black South Africans, we think we're better than Nigerians because they don't have the infrastructure. Of course. But there's more dollar millionaires in Nigeria than in South Africa.
South Africa is an interesting place because it has the largest economy, I think, for Africa, but it's mostly controlled by white people. Everybody knows about apartheid, or they should know about apartheid, and the formal system was broken, but the economic system never really changed. So you still have the minority in rule of the majority when it comes to the economics of it.
Now, could Nigerians try and do better for their contestants? Obviously, and I hope they do, but this comparison isn't it, and that is exactly my point. Do not get me wrong, I do understand South Africans' frustration, especially regarding the fraud that may have occurred concerning Chidimma's mother's identity theft. So that should not be taken lightly. I feel like, to me personally, I would equate identity theft to literally unaliving somebody without actually unaliving them, because you're literally taking away their right to an education, on a house, maybe. Forget a house. Have a job to begin with.
So it has affected my life greatly. I have been with my husband since 1997. We had a customary marriage in 2003. I cannot register that marriage. I cannot be used in my family as a beneficiary because my ID is high risk. I am not working now. I cannot work now, not because I am unable. I had goals when I grew up that I will provide even my family where I come from. But even myself, I'm a dependent now. Even if I go for an interview, the interview will go well. So when they do check my credit, they just say, sorry, we cannot take you because of your credit rating. I have missed so many opportunities. I'm even looking for a job as a cleaner whereby there will be no checks for my credit rating. It's affecting me. My life is in the box. I'm trapped. It's like I'm not existing in South Africa.
And this is just one of the many victims of identity theft, so this is not something that should be taken lightly. So I do understand the frustration. It's just unfortunate that an innocent girl is in the middle of all of this. And how winning Miss Universe Nigeria has gotten an even more backlash from Nigerians that feel like she shouldn't have even competed to begin with.
Miss Chidimma Adeshina don't finally win Miss Universe Nigeria. See her for here. She don't finally win her. They don't finally crown her. Of course, I knew it will happen. The day she joined that program, I knew they would give her the crown. Yes, somebody will tell me, hey, she deserve it. Deserve what? You don't see Miss Rivers. Is she a joke to you? You don't see that girl performance? Of course, I know. Just to prove South Africa wrong. Can you imagine? Does she deserve it? Let us tell ourselves the truth. She merited it. She merited it. You want proof to South Africa and say vote no they count for Nigeria? Of course no they count. Wait till they count. The moment they invited her to that program, I knew they would give her the crown. Yes. What did she do for there? What did she do for there? Make we tell ourselves what did she do? She don't win her, so what happen? Make other people they cry, they go out now, abi? And I don't achieve on her purpose. Ask yourself whether she deserves that crown. If your answer is yes, let it be between you and your conscience. Nonsense.
Abeg, why be say Nigerians like wetin dey shine? They like to get themselves involved with wetin dey shine. This Chidimma Adeshina matter, abeg. People wey go carry that girl come na high service they do. And since they don't carry am come, she don't win the Miss Universe. They get question to answer. That same girl, before they rejected her in whatever pageant they do for South Africa, she don't ever come Nigeria before. She don't ever say, okay, make her go visit my father's land. She never do am. In fact, there plenty like that where we say their parents na Nigeria, Miss country. They know they identify as Nigeria. They'll say I'm South African. Who send una message go carry? Like, I don't understand. Now, eye service una do. Eye service because the two una do don't really make sense. Okay, she don't come now. She don't win the Miss Universe. Una don't check her Instagram page. All the pictures, video of Miss Universe where she win, they under. Then she pin 3 posts on top her post. Maybe say anything she post go down. Those 3 things where she post, one of them say radiating South African pride. As I dey talk, una go dey see am with South African flag. So I ask una again, who send una? Miss Universe form no be free o. 25,000 naira. As I dey talk, una go dey see am. You know how many people dey pay for that form? Wey be say they will come select few. People dey here wey need the form now. Just because una wan prove 1 point to South Africa, una come go call somebody free of charge. Meanwhile, people dey wey pay for that form. Hello, who send una message? Honestly speaking, now you see Nigerians now una make us still dey where we dey. South Africans wey una wan prove point to now, they get academy for models. Which one una get for here? We get so many aspiring models. Now Austrian job that they do. No academy, no nothing. In Nigeria here now, modeling is not a career because who will take them serious? Billboard adverts, magazine cover, where models, aspiring young models, suppose they do. Now celebrities, actress, musical artists, now they carry those jobs give. Like no future for anybody we call themselves models, aspiring models for this country. No futures. Una can't do eye service. Go carry somebody come from South Africa. Has she ever identify herself as a Nigerian? Una know am before. I know say to some people, which are the talk now no make sense, but it no fit make sense because all of us want to do good. The ones where they here, where they suffer, una don't help them. So many aspiring models out there. Because when that Miss Nigeria, Miss Universe one start, I know not be only the people who una select now pay for that form. Plenty people pay for the form, and now give them say you are not selected. If you want help person, why you no help one of the people who pay for the form? Una want do maybe like say una do good just because say the matter the trend. Una self pants on the matter. Help your own first. She's living fine in South Africa. She go not collect some endorsement as a model. So what's una problem? Una no fear people where they here, where need the thing. Almost 500 people, 2,000 people go buy from at the rate of 25,000. I go select the one who una feel say they qualify. Okay, those ones who una no pick. Why una no call them together? Create an academy, call them together, train them on how to become a good model so that the next time why when I not do that one? Even the girl no even send on a message. Because if you send on a message, all the Miss Universe pictures where she post, she go post them on top. She still pin radiating South African pride with South African flag on her face. Because now service una do, she no send on a message. If you want show say you good, start from house. Many aspiring models, they will need this thing where you do for this girl. So many beautiful girls, qualified models, they don't see who go help them. Modeling is not a career anymore in Nigeria. Because if you are a model and an Austrian job, you go to do. Hello. Help your own first for house. Let's be realistic. Nobody send on a message. Now service una do. I know everybody want to support the girl, yes. If you want to support the girl, no be like that. Can she leave South Africa and come and base here in Nigeria? No. If you ask her, she prefer South Africa. Hello, make una dey do normal. Now so for Big Brother, they go leave people with Nigeria here wey select form. They go they pick the ones where they say you don't chop belle food, don't go London. You consider for inside Big Brother house. When I was in London, yeah. When I was in London, yeah. When I was in America, oh. What is the worry una? How we want to grow now? How we want to grow if everybody they do that too una they do? Eye service. You call something Miss Universe Nigeria. You go carry somebody come. We get South African passport. You call something Big Brother Nigeria. You leave people with inside Nigeria here they suffer. You go they bring somebody we don't chop belle food. We dey UK. We did this thing. Come on. Help people with the inside. We need help. Chidimma additional, please. I don't have any issue with you. You understand? But I'm saying the truth. And from where you are sitting down, if you ever see this message, if you ever see this video, you know, say which are the talk now true. I don't have any issue with you. They don't have any reason to go and invite you to come and do Miss Universe. Because people already paid for form. They didn't even give those people the chance. They paid for form. You rejected them for a reason. You didn't tell them why you didn't pick them. How will they know why you didn't pick them? They are discouraged already. And you they go do good person. They go carry person come for South Africa. Stop that thing there. Stop that thing there. Let us be realistic. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. Don't make sense. Nobody send on a message. Now eye service. As we get people who want to do music, we like music. We get ones who want the actress. And so we get ones who want to be models too. Help them. Now truth me and the yano. Me I no come care with anybody go talk after this one. I no kuku mention name. Not to anybody feel use me do. And as soon as I don't start this thing, I must finish her. Because now when I invite Chidimma by herself, which means she no pay for form. And as soon as I don't do good, now continue the good. Henceforth, make now they collect money for that form again. So anybody want participate, go your website, fill the form. Una go choose or deselect. They say masquerade go first dance for house before you go dance outside. One on masquerade, they first go dance for outside before they come dance for house. Who send on a message? I
personally feel like she should have just sat this one out. The likelihood of her winning this competition or even going any further with an investigation pending over her is very low. But, you know, that's just me. Maybe things will be different.
Sometimes things happen to people that might be negative. But that does not mean that, you know, because she now decided to come to Nigeria and participate and conveniently she won.
life is not a fairy tale.
So in terms of like the stages of these competitions, she came in when they were already at certain stages.
Yes.
So I'm even wondering to myself, was there somebody not representing Taraba before? If there wasn't, that's a different thing. But if there was, so you removed somebody from who was representing Taraba to put her in that place. She's never been to Taraba.
And
I'm not done.
I'm not done.
Hold on. I'm actually surprised that Blessings and Lolo are on this side and you're the one who's talking about can a girl win in peace? Because it feels like Nigerians love this idea of around it's grace, it's unmerited favor.
Yeah.
No, she could have come, you could have acknowledged her, but I don't think she was supposed to come, participate, and then win.
Exactly.
You're doing a disservice to the name and the brand of the pageant.
So I would have expected that even if she came, we could acknowledge her.
Yes.
I don't even think she should be allowed to participate.
I feel that I think it has just been written in stars for her for a long time. Yeah, I mean, I take the unpopular stance here, but I think it is something that she has been groomed into. She has, for me, this has been a long time coming for her. The fact that, number one, maybe, like you say, is leaning into the game between South Africa and Nigeria.
Obviously.
I don't think that can ever go away, but Nigerians are now stepping up, or Nigeria is stepping up and saying, let's bring her home, let's celebrate her. Probably there wasn't a Miss Taraba standing
even if there wasn't,
and then let her win. Those are two different things.
Not probably her win.
doubt.
Exactly when we're watching it. Lolo said, oh, she's beautiful. Anna was carried away. She's beautiful, she's eloquent, it's not a matter of being, I don't think, for me.
But there are criteria. Because if there are criteria, that means there are rules to follow. There are ways to follow. If protocol needs to be broken for someone, then there should be a caveat. What do you think this does to all the other girls in the pageant?
I'm telling you,
it's honestly, it's way too obvious. Now I understand the need to bring her home and celebrate her, but it is not a pity party, right? We get that. Okay, fine. Let's even say she's allowed to participate. That's enough celebration.
In my opinion, I feel like the grounds on which she won Miss Universe Nigeria is almost the same as the grounds on which Mia won Miss SA. They are kind of using the same reasoning. Chichi has this terrible story that is somewhat turning into a beautiful story, and we all like a happy ending, so they know that and they're playing into that. And it's the same for me as well. She is a person that has a disability, hearing impairment, and we all like a story of somebody else that is disabled winning. I'm not saying none of these women deserve their wins. I'm just saying you cannot ignore the role in which these unfortunate events had to play in them winning. I know for a fact that even without these stories, both women would have stood a great chance at making it to the top. So that I'm not trying to dispute. I'm just saying if they were qualified, their stories made them even more qualified. That's all. Since the Miss Nigeria competition footage started circulating, there were rumors that Chidimma's mother was actually at the event celebrating her daughter's win. And a lot of people have an issue with that because they're thinking, why is a person that is under investigation in a different country allowed to fly to a different country? But I feel like they have her mistaken for somebody else. It could have been, but the person in this video they are referring to, her mother, is actually the Minister of Arts in Nigeria. So maybe she was there, but the person that you are thinking is her mother is actually not her mother. This whole thing is a mess, and just a while ago, some South Africans started ordering boat in Nigeria just to cancel it when the driver arrived and wasting the driver's time.
The beef between South Africans and Nigerians right now is getting out of hand. See, a couple of days ago, some people in South Africa thought it'd be funny to go on Bolt, their version of Uber, and try order a fake ride all the way in Nigeria. But when they found out, yes, they could, and when the driver actually got to the pickup location, they would cancel their order, not only wasting the driver's time, but also their fuel. For example, this driver in Nigeria said that he had 30 rides cancelled on him today alone, and he even thought that there was a South African convention in town because all of the requests came under South African names.
No problem. Since you want to destroy my life, I will destroy yours.
These people thought it was so funny that they ended up posting it on Twitter with captions like, "Request a ride challenge." But it wasn't long until Nigerians picked up on what was going on. And that's when things got serious. Because keep in mind, Nigeria is a country with over 220 million people, 70% of which is under 30. 42% is under the age of 15. And the internet is a young person's game. Nigerians, in retaliation, ordered and cancelled so many rides that it triggered extreme Bolt surge pricing in Cape Town and Johannesburg, leaving many South Africans stranded on the streets due to unavailable and overly expensive rides. Oh, But they didn't stop there. After discovering that they could place orders in South Africa for a wide range of products like food, TVs, refrigerators, all with the option to pay on delivery, they started ordering these products in bulk to people's homes. This got so big that the manager of Bolt in Nigeria released a statement saying that they're going to do everything they can to block fake orders from outside the country. But as of right now, the war between South Africans and Nigerians rages on.
And now the Nigerian singer Ayra that was supposed to perform in South Africa has now had a visa cancelled. And this may be for unrelated reasons, but this is what some South Africans' reaction is.
There were some really interesting comments under this video's comment section, like this one that said, "We are slowly humbling the giants of Africa," which may not necessarily be directed to Burna Boy directly, as he got his own share of comments the first time he posted Mia saying this is who he wanted. The comment was directed to Nigerians in general, as lately there has been a number of Nigerian artists that could not be granted a visa in South Africa.
What exactly is the color of South Africa's problem? As in, why would you deny our under-18 basketball team visas to the 2024 FIBA under-18 Afro Basket Tournament? As in, hey, I'm trying to come up with a reasonable reason for you. There's nothing justifies this behavior. It is absolutely against the spirit of sportsmanship. I'm really hoping that they will still issue them the visa even before this video comes out, because Nigeria is scheduled to play Egypt tomorrow, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pretoria time. Our female team has already landed in South Africa, but the fact that our male team was denied is appalling. I mean, I'm really hoping that they will still change their mind and issue them visas, but it shouldn't even take people calling you out, people shaming you, for you to do the right thing. We've been playing this Afro Basket Tournament since 1977, guys. It used to be called FIBA Under-18 African Championship, and this thing is supposed to bring us all together in the spirit of sportsmanship. Are you not able to put your differences aside just for a brief moment to allow our young people to play? First of all, it is sad. It is very sad that as Africans, we need visas to travel within our own continent to other African countries. Say whatever you want about this. I know it's a topic for another day, but guys, we will thrive better if we're united as a continent, especially economically. We would do better economically, and it would also limit all these foreign interferences in our politics. But again, that's a topic for another day. Also, is it that the Nigerian team waited to the last minute to apply for their visas, or they held their passports for a long time? Because I've heard that South African embassies in Nigeria likes to hold people's passport for a really long time without telling them whether or not they will be issued the visas. But that shouldn't even matter. It shouldn't matter. This is sports. Yebo. Sports. Whoever wins this is supposed to earn the right to represent Africa at the next year's FIBA Under-19 Basketball World Cup in Switzerland. Believe me, I know that there are so many South Africans that are not happy with this right now. So it's not just Nigerians that are wondering, like, what the heck just happened? So there are some South Africans right now that are celebrating, but there are some South Africans that are also like, yebo, don't do this, don't do it. Thank you to those of you. One love.
Now, I'm not going to assume that all of this happening to these Nigerian artists and also the team, the male team, is because South Africans hate them. I think that would be an unfair conclusion, given we do not know the details of what is actually going on.
It's important to stress, though, that not every South African has this sort of resentment towards Nigerians and vice versa, but for everybody else that does, please, enough.
And I'm not saying that the Chidimma situation and all these other celebrities and the team situation does not require the attention it's getting. I'm just saying that I hope we don't get too focused on this, that we forget that a whole recolonization is about to happen.
A British man by the name of Phil Craig launched a political party called the Referendum Party, right? Now, why am I saying a British man? Because he is British with a British accent. He does, however, have South African citizenship, right? Because you can only register a political party if you have citizenship. Now, in South Africa, like a lot of other countries, you can acquire citizenship in two ways. It's either one, you've been in the country for a specific period of time, or two, you have enough money to invest in the country and start businesses, and then you can acquire citizenship that way. So I don't know how this British man acquired citizenship, so it could be either or. That's one. So the Referendum Party is basically Cape Independence. So a few years ago, the same gentleman, Phil Craig, had pushed the movement for Cape independence, which was for Cape Town or the Western Cape to become an independent country. So what that means is that I have family in Cape Town, right? And I have family in the Northwest. I have family in the Northern Cape, right? Right now, we are all South African citizens. If they are able to get this going and separate the Western Cape from South Africa, then my family in Cape Town will now have a different nationality, and it will require me to have a passport and apply for a visa in order for me to now go to Cape Town or visit any of my family members in the Western Cape, right? Because they want to have their own country in the Western Cape.
They may defend this however they want, but to me this is just another Orania situation ready to happen. Orania is a place in South Africa where black people are not allowed to stay, and because they allowed Orania in the first place, they now want to take over an entire province. And that's why I keep saying, while Chidimma's situation requires your attention, do not exhaust all your energy in one place. Because your Minister of Home Affairs is surely not doing that, and neither should you.
Because what we're looking to create in the Western Cape is an ideological homeland for people who think like us, people who have broadly Western values, who want to live in the first world, and you know, want to and I've often used the example, the Western Cape becomes almost like Israel for the Jews.
But the place you're describing already exists, huh? You know that because you're from there, so why don't you just go back there?
So basically they want to see if we're willing to let go of one province, and obviously if we let go of one province, meaning that we are willing to let go of all the other provinces, and obviously they'll snatch South Africa away from us. They have been investing in South Africa for a very long time, not because of the benefit of black people and the people that live within in that country, but the benefit of themselves as the investors that are investing it. Reason is because they were told that they will reach a point where their soil will become infertile and it will no longer reproduce or allow them to grow, or it will no longer benefit them. And obviously they know that South Africa is furthest away from the equator, and white people obviously thrive in cold conditions, and obviously we know that Africa is not a place for cold conditions. So obviously they need to do cloud seeding in order for them to change the kind of weather conditions that will sustain them. And obviously South Africa is furthest away, and Cape Town is the best place for them to start off, and obviously they are going to move into the different provinces as time progresses. So I need black people to start waking up, stop sitting and thinking that people are doing things for you because they love you. People are not investing into your country because they love you. They are investing in your country because they want to take what's yours, because they have destroyed their land, they have damaged everything in their land, and now they want to come for what's yours. So please wake up and don't come here and be telling me black people accountability, because I can see mentally how sharp.
The funniest thing about the Cape independence movement is some black South Africans are supporting the movement. Just to let you know, these people don't even know what they're doing sometimes. And some of them will sit and say, it's a family affair. It's South African problem. Don't put your mouth inside. You people know in apartheid, it was not South African problem. Different countries were hosting you people, you know that? So if Cape become an independent city on its own, the UK and America might arm them and use that state to start destabilizing other African countries. So this is not a South African issue. This is an African issue. Just because you people don't think straight. You only want Kabza and Maporosa to drop new Amapiano songs. You can eat, drink savannah and go dance. The whites are programming their kids for 30 years to come, abandoning yours to drink and dance Amapiano. You will still see them supporting the movement that will enslave them in years. Namomono too much.